She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Hummel, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And today, we are talking The Mandalorian and Grogu. The first Star Wars movie in 7 years.
Yeah, long time.
I'll say, I feel like there's a lot riding on this movie in the background.
Yeah.
The cat's being crazy. But, yeah, and this is interesting because this is Star Wars' first movie out of a TV show. Mm-hmm. We've seen Marvel recently dabbling with that, or at least in the past couple of years, achieving varying degrees of success.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see Disney continue a similar trend over here in Star Wars.
I agree. I think of, I hate to compare it to this because I could tell you right now I liked this better than the movie I'm about to compare it to. But I think about Moana 2, how it was supposed to be a TV show and then turned into a movie. This I don't think was the case. I think it was just more they made 3 seasons of a show and then made a movie. 2 separate sentences. But I don't know why I kept thinking about that, even though I definitely liked this better. So.
Interesting. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot of feelings. This is also on your Movie Box draft.
Yeah.
So I did count the scores up, so at the end of this we will see where our current tally is.
Not that it did me a lot of favors, but you know what? We'll see. It's okay.
Indeed.
I feel like if that's my worst, then I've had worse in the past, as we know. So, you know, it's okay. We'll just see what happens.
Well, before we get started deeper into this conversation, vibe check.
Vibe check.
Excuse me. That's how my vibes are going.
Dude, I don't know if y'all can see my cat right now, but he just like jumped from that. I love cats. Anyways, yeah, my vibes are good. I'm excited to talk about this movie, the show, all things Star Wars. I was thinking about this last night, and I feel like, similar to how we've done, you know, one-off videos in the past about MCU phases, I feel like we could totally do that for Star Wars at some point.
Definitely.
That might even, like, if we don't get to it within the next several months, I feel like it could be a fun lead up to May 4th, like, for next year.
Indeed.
Long ways away, but I mean, we do tend to get busy and not slow down. So we shall see. And we still have some Marvel stuff to film and some other filler episodes we could do. So I feel like, you know, it might be a year till we get to that. But yeah, that could be really fun doing like maybe like each trilogy or something, and then I don't know, maybe a Rogue One solo duo thing. I don't know. Clone Wars. There we go. There's your 3 trilogies right there since we're doing this one. So anyways, I thought that could be fun.
Indeed.
But yeah. What about you?
I'm vibing. We started playing a game last night that I freaking love. Danganronpa.
It was very fun.
But yeah, and then I woke up and I worked on our outline, and then I came here. So that's the vibes, productive.
I woke up, took a shower so I wasn't smelly, and then now I'm here.
And still smelly.
Still smelly. I'm sorry. No, it's so funny.
Okay, switching gears into Mandalorian and Grogu. I will go ahead and warn you guys, we will be talking spoilers on the movie, on the show, on probably all of Star Wars. So, if you are interested in any of this, basically everything until Mandalorian and Grogu is currently on Disney+, and Mandalorian and Grogu is in theaters right now.
Yes.
You have been warned.
Yeah.
So, let's maybe start broader. Star Wars. Yay or nay?
I think yay overall. I mean, I've always had reservations with Star Wars, even though I've always loved it. I remember I dressed up as Leia one year. I've had various like toy lightsabers. Always liked the Galaxy's Edge land when going to Disney. I've talked about working at Disney. It's not at Galaxy's Edge. I feel like it doesn't matter at this point if I talk about what I did because I don't work there anymore. I worked in mostly as a PhotoPass photographer. So I never actually worked in that land because they have a very special training you have to get, and you can only get that training if you're based in Hollywood Studios. I was based in Magic Kingdom, so even though I was able to pick up in other locations, I believe that was the only place I could never pick up in. Maybe, oh no, also the Avatar area, Pandora. Because not only do they have different outfits, but they have different lingos, different like how they talk about their camera equipment, like everything. I mean, there's a reason they call Disney cast members because it is like a show that you're putting on, and so that has special training, special costumes, everything. So I never got to work in either of those areas, but so I didn't spend as much time there as some other places. But I still went there, still hung out. It was very fun. I've always liked Star Wars, but like I said, I've had reservations because of the fandom. I feel like it's pretty well known that it's a very toxic fandom, even probably from the people that are the ones we're talking about, and they just don't realize it. And so I don't talk about it a lot because I feel like everyone, for whatever reason, just like freaks out anytime someone has any sort of opinion about anything Star Wars. There's always somebody there freaking out about it. You can't love something enough, you can't hate something enough. Like, you can't win in this fandom, and so it's kind of exhausting. But I really do like Star Wars a lot. I've watched most, if not all, of its main content, at least, including the shows. But if someone was like, name like 10 of the planets, I would like have to think about it. And so that's the kind of fandom that's like, see, you didn't name it in 3 seconds. You don't know anything about Star Wars. You're not a true fan. So I've had reservations, but I like it. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Fair.
Overall.
Well said.
Anyways. What about
Honestly,
you?
you spitting bars over there.
Well, my family grew up on Star Wars, so I grew up on Star Wars, so.
You know, here's my thing. I actually don't know if you know this about me, but my family, specifically my dad's side of my family, loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then my brother also really loved Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So until I was maybe 13, hated Star Wars.
Oh, because it was too much.
It was all over the place. I was like,
I mean, you are named after Luke Skywalker.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. They were trying to push that on me on a young age. I'm like, I was just born. Let me breathe. Literally, don't even have a twin sister over here. But yeah, it took me a very long time to really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's probably... I rewatched the Star Wars on a May 4th in college. And that was when I, really fell in love with the original trilogy. And then I went through, I think, the prequels. And I was like, eh. The sequels I've only ever seen in theaters.
Until just recently.
Until recently.
Yeah.
And then, you got me started on Clone Wars, which led into
really? Oh, her! I love Clone Wars in college.
Rebels.
Dude, that was my comfort show.
And then all of the spin-off shows, and dude,
Bad
Clone Wars
Batch,
to Rebels, that is what will make you love Star Wars.
That's peak Star Wars.
And
it really is.
And it makes all of even some of the movies that aren't as good, it makes me look at them in a new light and appreciate them a lot more than I did. It's crazy. This little fictional world is just it's a vibe. There truly is nothing like it.
Yeah.
And there are some big franchises out there, but truly, Star Wars is something very unique.
Yeah, I think Star Wars is maybe the only one that I would say solidifies its place in the probably big three of the franchises. I would describe that as like Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Marvel.
Yeah.
But some people might say DC. Some people might say Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones. Like, I don't know. Jurassic Park. I don't know. That's my like hard big three. Like, I would not switch anything.
I mean,
out
world
for that.
building goes hard with those three.
Yeah, I agree. I think DC's a little too all over the place, at least right now.
And it just started over.
Yes, like I just don't. I would not put it in there. But I could potentially hear, even if I don't agree, I could hear arguments being made for switching out something with Harry Potter and Marvel. Maybe I would not for Star Wars. Like
No,
that is
that's really well said.
yeah. So it's been a moment. My mom, her best friend, her and her husband love Star Wars. They named one of their dogs after Chewie. They named it Chewie.
Fair.
And it was like this really tiny dog. I don't even know what kind of dog it was. But it was all like its hair was all scruffy, like Chewie, and I'm like, that's the perfect name. We just did some crafts, and half of their options were Star Wars options. Like it was like this epoxy stuff. So this like, I don't know, for those who might not know what that is, like liquid, it gets poured and then hardens over time. They would just pour it into like little ice cube molds, and they had like the Death Star, they had Han Solo frozen in the thing, Darth Vader's helmet, all that kind of stuff. So they're big fans. I've gotten them like presents in the past, from when I worked at Disney and had all the access to all the merch on a discount. I got them like a little Millennium Falcon, and so it's always been in my life in some capacity. I remember I really wanted to watch The Phantom Menace, and they wouldn't let me for a long time because specifically of Darth Maul. I don't know why. They thought he would
is
be
giving
too
demonic.
scary. I guess. But yeah, I couldn't watch the prequels for a while, or at least specifically that one, because of Darth Maul. And now I love that baddie. So, anyways, sorry, tangent over.
You're good. You're good. Switching to a little bit more specific, the Mandalorian show. This was Disney's first big live action show for Star Wars.
Yeah. Their animation's always been
Yes.
Yeah.
How early did you hop? Well, first off, yay or nay?
Oh, yay, for sure. Gosh, the question of when did I hop on?
When did you hop on?
I actually don't know. I mean, since I was into Star Wars and all those things, probably when it first came out. I really don't remember though. I could not tell you. Like, any amount of money offered to me, I could not tell you. It would not make the memory come back. So, I don't know.
I remember I was visiting my dad, and I had not seen any of it, and so as a family, we watched all of the first season pretty soon after it was all released.
Okay.
So like Grogu was all over the internet. And like there were breakdowns of it. That's actually crazy. He was actually the one who showed me Grace for the first time, because after we'd watched the episodes, he'd pull up her videos as like breakdowns or whatever.
Oh, Grace Randolph.
Indeed. But yeah, no, it was a really fun bonding experience, especially since I was officially like,
you were like,
open
I'm
to
here,
Star Wars
I'm
now.
back, I like it on my own terms.
But
Oh, that's good.
yeah, so I was a little late from the initial hit, but like still there for the bulk of the Mando's journey in pop culture.
For sure. That's good. I have no idea when I joined. I mean, before season 3, I know that. But I do feel like I watched it soon after it came out. I don't know.
big pros, big cons of The Mandalorian as a show overall?
I mean, I think a lot of people talk, rightfully so, that the first 2 seasons are really, really good. Even season 3, I liked parts of it. You know, I watched, I don't remember if it was with us or just on my own, but at some point I watched no, I think I just watched a TikTok about it, a recap of the show, and everything you need to know before going into the movie. And the highlights of what they talked about were really good and kind of made I'm like, why do I want to watch season 3 again? I have to remind myself.
No, season
It had
3.
some bad
I mean,
moments.
season 3 did some really fun stuff because it basically is setting up the recreation of Mandalore. As a culture, they're officially fighting Moff Gideon, and a face-off there. A lot of things build up really well.
Yeah. You have the Darksaber, you have Bo-Katan.
I really love kind of the idea that Bo-Katan was the princess or queen, the leader, and then the Mandalorian was basically like her knight, which I thought was a super interesting Star Wars. It's a very interesting story in a Star Wars context.
Yeah.
But it's weird that it landed so oddly for us, and I think general public. I remember certainly at the time it was coming out, season 3 was not what season 1 and 2 were.
No. I do think, stepping back, it's probably not as bad as people say. It just wasn't seasons 1 and 2, and so people were harsh about it. I mean, again, that's kind of what the fandom does. Anytime something's not, crazy amazing, like Rogue One or something, they're even one of the people you mentioned earlier, I don't know if we mentioned it.
That was not on camera.
No, okay. Well, off camera, one of the people you mentioned, their review was like, Star Wars is so washed. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, this is why I get irritated with the fandom. It's so annoying. It's like, it's hard to love something but not really feel like you have a community to celebrate it with. Because they hate half of the content. And I'm like, guys, season 3 was not seasons 1 and 2. But wasn't that bad? Probably not. It had a lot of great moments.
I think it was still probably, I think my rating was a 6.5 out of 10.
That sounds right, probably for me too, which compared to what was probably 8, 9, or 10 for the first 2 seasons, yes, that's a drop off, but 6.5 still pretty solid. So I'm like, guys, when you have a big franchise like this, not everything can be peak, because then nothing is peak. So it's gonna be okay. So I still think aggressively yay for the whole show overall.
If we might look even more inward, favorite characters, plot lines, what do we like or love about Mandalorian?
Okay, and I'll be honest, I might get some of these mixed up with the stuff that happened in Book of Boba Fett, because
you mean The Mandalorian season 2.0?
Or 2.5, yeah. No, exactly. That's what everyone refers it as Mandalorian 2.5.
Dude,
so
that show, if I might take a little bit of a tangent.
Sure, go for it.
Oh my god, Book of Boba Fett.
No, if you want to talk about Star Wars washed, let's talk about that show. Because anything that didn't have to do with The Mandalorian and their storyline was not interesting. And it ultimately, I would say it's a bad title.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, guys, I actually maybe wanted to see something about Boba Fett, but whatever.
Crazy. Anyways.
At least we'll always have animated if they ever want to revisit that in a real way.
I cannot believe they killed Cad Bane in that. Pissed.
No, but I was going to bring him up. Cad Bane would be one of my choices. Loved him.
He was not in Mandalorian.
No, Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked cool, but then he didn't do anything, and he died really easily.
But I love him. But yeah, it was done. His storyline was handled poorly, but I love his character.
If I might jump a little bit, I was very scared that was what Mandalorian and Grogu was going to do, and they didn't do it. Love that we learned lessons.
Thank goodness.
Here.
I've definitely liked Moff Gideon. I mean, that
I
actor's
think
like
great
kind
antagonist.
of amazing in anything he's in. He was just in The Boys and Gen V, and he was great in, those moments. And then, obviously, our main two characters, duh. And then I mentioned Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan is a baddie. I love Bo-Katan.
The show really did a lot because I think Bo-Katan is definitely portrayed as a very hard to like character in the Clone Wars, very purposefully. But I feel like the show did a lot to really give her redemption, which I really like actually. She's a very fun character in this show.
Yeah. And then it was very fun to see Luke and Ahsoka show up. Obviously, I love them.
Ooh, I also really love... I really liked being able to explore the Mandalorian religion. And the two different factions I think are really interesting.
Yeah.
And then the, like... I forget her name, but, like, the one who, like, crafts their weapons.
That's who I was gonna
She's
look at.
so cool.
I don't remember. Just keep going.
But it's very cool. I also love the world building in The Mandalorian.
I forgot baddie. How to say her name? Fennec Shan?
Fennec Shand,
Yeah.
remind me who she is.
She's the baddie from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes!
Yes.
Love Melinda Bay. She can do no wrong.
No, the problem is I do not know who played the character we're thinking of because I don't know her face because
No.
that's the whole point. So I'm like, wait, actually, this is not helpful.
But the world building, like all of the sets, it was like one of the earliest uses of the volume set. And it feels like it was used very effectively for the first 2 seasons.
The armor portrayed by Emily Swallow.
Queen.
Cool. Yes, I was also thinking of her, and I couldn't think of her name. So, okay, the one who builds the armor? The armor. Cool. See, this is what I mean. I feel like there's Star Wars fans who would be like, see, you're a fake fan. You're a fake fan. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. The action, I think, is super fun. Considering the whole thing is it's a guy whose religion is weapons. They sell on that.
For sure.
The inclusion of the Darksaber at the end of season 1, I think, is a really great testament how great the show is up until that point, where the moment it starts feeding into major Mandalorian lore, it's still an amazing show. Season 2 gives us Bo-Katan and friends. Yeah, just very fun time, and really exploring this corner of Star Wars, which we haven't seen since Rebels, I think.
Pretty much. Yeah, from what I can think of.
And I'll say Boba Fett and Fennec Shand coming back, they were great in The Mandalorian, season 2.
I just animate them and do something with their story, please. Anyways, yeah.
So, Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu movie is announced. Your thought upon its announcement? No trailer, we just hear it's getting a movie.
I mean, I don't remember how I felt, but I feel like I would have been excited. I don't know if I would have had a reason to not be excited. Always excited for a new Star Wars movie to come out. I love watching them in theaters. The only ones I had ever, I think till this day, watched in theaters are the sequels. Because I do believe they re-released the...
And
we watched Revenge. Yeah, we watched Revenge of the Sith because that's one of my favorites. But they I think they released all 3 prequels. We just didn't make it to the first 2. But I would if I had another chance of it, and I'm sure there will be someday. There will be another anniversary. So, yeah, I'd love to see the original 3. I don't think I ever have. From what I remember COVID, some theaters released like older movies because nothing new was coming out, but I don't think that was one of them that I saw if they even played it, because they still had to get the rights for it.
Sure.
But yeah, I totally would. I think I did watch Rogue One when it came out. I did not watch Solo when it came out. I don't know why.
Dude, I watched Rogue One in theaters, and I left it pissed.
Why?
I was like, dude, when I left, and mind you, I completely disagree now, but I hated that movie.
It's
I
because you were
didn't have
still in
to-
your hater era.
Yes, I was.
You're like, I can't like this.
I
You
was
were
like-
pissed because it was so good, and you were like, no, it's not allowed to be
I
that.
was just like, dude, everyone died. What was the point of that?
I mean, that is the one.
And
It's
then
okay.
yeah, no, I...
No, it's okay. You were in your hater era, and you were like, I'm not allowed to like this. It's okay. It's alright.
But no,
Anyways.
I think, considering it had been years since we've had a Star Wars movie in theaters, I think with the success of Mandalorian and Grogu, it sounded like a really great idea.
Yeah.
To have this be what kind of leads into what hopefully was the next cinematic chapter. Because also
Yeah.
that show is incredibly cinematic.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I remember when the first couple trailers and teaser trailers came out, everyone was saying, this looks just like the TV show, as if that was a bad thing. I'm like, guys, the TV show looks fucking awesome. That's the whole point, is that it looks cinematic. So I'm okay with it looking the same because it looks great. I have no complaints. Anyway, yeah. And it looks great here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The visuals, I think, are amazing.
Yeah.
And then from the trailer, what were your expectations?
It didn't give a lot away story-wise. I knew some cast members, like I knew Jeremy Allen White was gonna be Rod of the Hutt. Excited for that. I'm like, go off, King. You said it was between this and Madam Web?
So,
I want to hear
infamously,
that lore drop.
he was approached by, as he says, Marvel. Clearly, he didn't know what side of Marvel.
No.
And he said, I came in too hot. I was like, so what are you guys gonna do for me? And then Marvel walked away.
I remember that.
And then everyone clicked that the guy who plays the antagonist in Madam Web
Uh-huh.
is his exact character type. So that was the role that they were approaching him for.
You know what? I feel like at that time I may have judged him for that reaction. What are y'all gonna do for me? But for Madam Web, I'd be like, you know what?
No, if Sony Marvel's approaching you, you have that energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, no, I get that. No, I don't know if he knew it was Sony Marvel, but anyways, I think it's funny in hindsight now. He lucked out. He got the better of the two, certainly. So that's really funny. Yeah, I don't know. And I was just excited to see the duo again and whatever they were going to do with that. I don't know. I didn't really have a lot of expectations on the story because they didn't give a lot away. So I knew it was going to look good. It was going to sound good. It was going to have my two besties in it. And anything else was a fun surprise.
From the trailer, it really kind of sets up the idea, because it's like, I'll go after every villain in your deck of cards. It's kind of giving, like, a bunch of side quests, where he's just, like, going through the deck, and the trailer is created very much with that idea in mind, where, like, because there's so many different places being shown in the trailer that
True.
are like, yeah, I could totally see this being, he goes after a bunch of different villains in different places.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
And my thought was, if that is the movie, I think there's still room to be a movie with that. You just have to, be intentional with your script.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll circle back to that statement.
For sure.
So, it's yesterday. We watched the movie. Hearing reception definitely brought down my expectations a bit.
For sure. Everyone was saying, nothing happens, this doesn't matter. It's just, one big product placement. It's boring. I heard, kind of nothing positive. whatsoever, other than the score, which was no surprise.
I completely forgot Ludwig Göransson was doing the score.
I
feel like I heard that at some point, but then I totally was surprised when I saw it on the opening credits.
feel like the only reason I knew is because that was the only positive thing I heard people talking about. So somebody must have name dropped him. And I did hear a little bit of the score online, and it was really cool. So I was excited for that. I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna like this movie more than other people. But I am glad that my expectations are like tempered right now. I'm hoping it'll be a 3-star movie. That's what I think both of us were like. If it's 3 stars, great. I just hope it's not worse than that. And I gave it 3 stars. So, spoiler. But anyways, I did. I'm like, whatever. And maybe that was a little generous. I don't know. We're gonna talk about the cons in there. But it was cute and entertaining, and I had a good time. Was it the best made movie ever? No. But I'm like, I had a fun time. 3 stars is my, like, I would recommend you go see this movie. And I was like, yeah, have fun.
With 3 stars, I'd say, like, because I'd say 3.5 is, like, truly in my, like, I would recommend you should probably see this.
Yeah.
3 stars, I'm like, if you're, like, in the realm of this, like, genre or franchise,
Yeah.
you should make your own opinion on it.
Yeah. Like, if you really like The Mandalorian, then go see this and see what you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So, and I was in a very similar boat, although I didn't see I didn't purposely go out looking for a lot of, like, reviews or anyone, like, actually talking about it. The only thing I'd really seen was the Rotten Tomato score, which was a 53. At some point was the last time I saw it. I will say it has changed. But I was like, it's Star Wars, and critics are kind of hit or miss when it comes to actual franchises with, like, lore and expectations from fans.
Yeah.
There's many worlds in which they aren't... They've never watched Rebels, they've never watched Clone Wars, or any of the gazillion shows that really inspire this movie as an end product, so, does that mean that they're wrong?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but there's a lot of factors involved.
Yeah. Have some reservations.
The audience score was, I think, going to be more directive of where I'd land on it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see until after we watched it.
I haven't seen either, so guessing will be, like, totally, I have no idea.
I'm very curious to see where you get, how close you get. But I was very excited to see it inform my own opinion. And ultimately, my opinion, yeah.
Yeah. That's me too.
Yeah, and I will say, I don't know if we've even said this, but we have just finished rewatching all of the other Star Wars movies leading up to this.
Literally, even the Clone Wars
Even the Clone Wars film. So...
Because Luke's husband, Cole, has not seen...
Had
not seen any of them.
And now he has seen all of them.
Now he has, so... Now we just need him to get to watch some of the shows. Which I think he is. He has watched some of the shows, right?
Yeah, he's watched whatever the last one was, I thought. He watched...
The Acolyte?
I think he did watch The Acolyte with us, but he watched Skeleton Crew with us.
Okay.
I totally forget about Skeleton Crew. So sorry, guys.
No, he needs to watch Clone Wars, Rebels, and... what's the third one I would recommend? I mean, he needs to watch the Mall show at some point.
Mall's really fun.
Maybe...
Please give us a
Bad
second
Batch?
season.
Bad Batch has its moments.
I think the first season is
Highs and
really
lows.
great.
Yeah.
Season 2, I think, is Season 3, dude, I was really bored.
It starts off at,
It
like,
starts
really
really good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anyways.
No.
And he loves a good animated show, so I'm sure he'll love it.
So, back to Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah,
There's so
yeah,
many
yeah.
other tangents we could go on. Let's go ahead and start. Best parts.
Like we already said, the visuals and the score were both amazing.
Dude, I will say,
Eating that
I
score up.
the score certainly won me over because literally until I saw him, I was like, this is probably just gonna be the same score we've heard a lot of times from the show. But whenever they hit the city, the score of that city is so good.
Yeah. No, I had heard a little snippet of that, but I definitely never got tired of it. I loved anytime it played in theaters. It went hard. I was like, okay, I need to download this on Spotify and listen to it. Yeah, it was really good.
Ludwig Göransson,
So
you're on top of it, man.
he is. Yeah. And then I did really like, even if it was a little bit, I don't know, slow or boring, I don't know, that's not the way I would want to describe it, but for other people it might be. But I really liked when Grogu, since we're in spoiler territory, when he was taking care of Din,
Mhm.
I thought that whole entire thing was so sweet.
It's so sweet.
And what did it remind me? It reminded me of something in like Avatar, like The Last Airbender. It reminded me of something that would be in that show of him like getting the food and then the next day, almost being killed and then saved and saying, "You're the one who stole my food," like, and then you're like, "Oh no," and they're like, "Okay, come on." I don't. It was just like something straight out of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It actually reminded me a lot of Invincible this last season.
Yeah. When they're taking care of Mark. Yeah. So.
I will say on that, I love the intention behind it. I think it would have landed a lot harder if the script had set up more explicit themes of there's the line that you hear in the movie and it's from the trailer, the old take care of the youngs and then the young take care of the old. I feel like there's so much more this movie could have done in line to make that the main running thread through this film.
Yeah. I could see the threads of that, but I agree. I think they could have been fleshed out better. Like I could even see the threads of, everyone's talking about, you're going to die someday and he's going to have many, 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 many years beyond that. So I could see the threads of him almost trying to like prepare him for that so early on. But yeah, I agree. They touch on it very minimally. And I could even see someone like not seeing that at all. So yeah. That's something so great that deserves to be explored. I love that. But
yeah, and I do like that part in theory. Unfortunately, without the themes, I think, being built up very intentionally, it does draw the story very still when we get to that section. Parts of it are really funny. The parts where he meets the guy with the fish, I think, is very, like, it's very tense.
Yeah.
I do like that scene. But I do feel like there was more that could have been going on. And maybe even, like, if it was kept exactly the same, but they just built it up to that point better. I think it just could have been more effective. But it's fine, too. I enjoyed it.
for sure. I loved the fight sequence between him and Rada, and then when they teamed up against everybody else.
When they were fighting all of those monsters, some of them right out of the
It was
chessboard.
giving Attack of the Clones, for sure. Like, that fight scene with everybody.
But I'd say cooler.
But, like, better, yes. Yeah, better, cooler, yeah, I agree.
Speaking of, I don't know if anyone caught it, but I caught it, the weird giant mouth cat thing on the wall, his head, from Attack of the Clones. R.I.P.
Let's
And then when they, like, got
see.
the monsters were, like, released on the city, I also found that super entertaining.
Yeah.
Dude.
That whole thing was very fun. I really this is so, like, small, but I loved when he kept bothering that one worker with the money to get information. He was like, "Go away, don't ask that."
Oh,
No.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. First of all, that casting was great. But I specifically loved the moment where he goes into the thing and he's like this because he's so big in the thing. Like, I love this angle right now. It's so funny. Yeah. He's like, it's for his tab. Oh, Grogu. I love Sigourney Weaver being in this
Dude,
movie.
I love Sigourney Weaver in general.
Mhm.
I'll always love her being in things.
Ugh. I agree. I think she's great. And she looks great in that pilot uniform. I'm like, Batty. Batty. I love when they show up to rescue him. I thought that was very fun.
I love Embo. Me and my guy Embo. Love him.
So
He was brought into quote unquote live action
Mhm.
so well.
Uh-huh.
We literally watched a compilation of Embo moments from the Clone Wars, like maybe 30 minutes before we went to go see the movie, because I was like literally so hyped.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I'm remembering Batty at his peak.
Yeah.
And dude's awesome. I knew his hat was bulletproof, but I specifically love when there's apparently a plot line in Clone Wars where Palpatine is trying to have him assassinate Padme, and then there's a scene of him like chasing them in a speed cruiser while he's like gliding on his hat down a mountain. Dude, and he's going head to head with a Jedi. And I'm like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I really fear that they're going to do a Cad Bane where he comes into live action and is just like, oh yeah, he's dead. This bounty hunter who constantly outwits Jedis and
Yeah.
monsters. But no, he holds his own, and he has a very intimidating aura here.
For sure.
And his action, I think, is so cool.
And I like his dog.
Yes.
He's cool. I love when Grogu puts him to sleep and he's like, "Hey, buddy," and just pets him. I'm like, ah. The little like creatures is like bad baby.
The Babu Fix.
Bad baby.
I don't know what their race is, but Babu Frick and the gang.
So cute.
No, I also thought it was so funny with the tiny ship.
Mhm.
Dude, and then when Mando comes up on it, he's like,
It's like, yeah, I can't fit in there. Just hold on.
oh my
really
god. What would happen?
Imagine if they jump to light speed and he's still holding on.
He's dead.
No, I know.
No, that was...
It's just his corpse. No, it's not even his corpse. It's just the uniform, but it's hollow. They're like, gung, gung. Oh, speaking of, I love anytime Grogu's like, Dad.
Yes, it's very
Wake
opening.
up.
It's so funny.
But he even did that. I think he did that to Rada at the end when he was.
Yes, when he was like going to
He's
get
like,
him out of the...
Wake up, wake up, wake up. So cute. I loved when Grogu suited up to go after his dad. I'm like, chung, chung, chung. I love that.
Ooh, I loved the opening scene of like him going after the Imperial in the
Yes.
snow and going through the AT-ATs.
Yes, that was very fun.
Sick.
I loved when Din was fighting the little like dragon, like
The dragon snake?
no, the dragon snake. That's what it was.
Dude, that fight was so cool.
Yeah.
And then like the visual of him like slowly coming up out of the water. I love that bit.
Yeah, I agree. Even before that, when it was just like the 3 or 4 little creatures, when we think it's just one, but then 1, 2, 3 pops out, you're like, oh no. The line where they're like, the twins are like, we wanted to shame you by removing your helmet, and he's like, it's only a problem if you're, until I kill you, and I'm like, oh my god, this is weak. Period. Pedro Pascal. Also, I don't know if I would say props or, I guess I would say props to the trailer for making it seem like he's gonna have his helmet off more than he did.
Yeah.
Because I'll say props because I think that was a smart marketing move to get people there for Pedro Pascal, in case they didn't already know. But I did have a little bit of reservations, like, okay, why is he removing his helmet? We just went over how big of a deal this was. But it was totally fine in the movie. It made sense.
Yeah, and I think they do it, like, I'll say they do that bit really intentionally.
Yeah.
I feel like whereas, like, a traditional script, it has much to be desired. As, like, a Star Wars script, its lore is very respected, which I think is something you can expect from Dave Filoni.
For sure. I love anytime Rada is like almost like a big brother to Grogu. I don't know. That's probably they don't know each other that well, but he was always very like caring, and I appreciate that because nobody else in his family is, or was. So
I'll say I like the purpose of Rada's character.
I liked like when they were playing in the water. I'm like, that's so sweet.
It's very cute.
Yeah. I don't know.
Zeb.
Yes.
Dude,
love Zeb.
Zeb was so cool. He was brought into live action, I think, so well.
Another small thing I loved. This is in the trailer, but I love when Grogu's trying to get the bowl of food from Sigourney Weaver's character, and she's like, yeah. I don't know. Anytime Grogu'd, I'm like, so cute.
Grogu's gonna Grogu.
I said that in the theater like 10 times. Anyways.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the
things.
biggest pros for me. I think we named a lot of them.
I agree.
On to worst parts. Let's talk this script.
I think, just kind of the script overall. You said there's, like, no character arcs or themes. Yeah.
And that's, like, objectively true.
I agree with that.
It does, unfortunately, I think that's where a lot of the, is this, like, even a movie? It's giving Disney Plus special.
Yeah.
I fear that's not unfounded.
Yeah, I was saying they should have just advertised it as, like, Mandalorian and Grogu, a special or something like that. Just happening to, since it's such a big IP, like, putting it in theaters, I think that could have done them a lot of favors rather than advertising it as another big movie. Yeah, because a special doesn't always have to, doesn't always have to do a whole lot for the characters. I actually, funny enough, did think of the Punisher special from this, but I still think this is better, even if I think they have similar amounts of like character development and themes.
Sure.
I think not only was this cooler, and I love Frank, so like it's hard for me
I
to
love
say that,
Frank,
but
and
like
I love John Bernthal as the Punisher.
yes,
I was literally having a conversation with someone about this. Dude, unfortunately, the writers on him so far, like, he's unfortunately a great supporting character. Anytime he's the main character, it's the same story over and over again.
Yeah. So, I will say I think this did a better job at keeping my interest for sure. Like, this was 2 hours and 15 minutes, essentially. I would not have watched that long of the Frank Castle special if that's what they were still going for. Would not have kept my interest for that long. It barely kept my interest as is, and it was like 40 minutes. So I will say this did a better job, but it did make me think of that just because it did, like, content-wise give special more than movie. Even if the length was a lot more than a special.
Sure.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel, hear me out on this. I feel like swap the content of this movie with the high points of season 3, and I think that's the right timeline. Like the reclaiming of Mandalore, the defeating of Moff Gideon, have that be a movie.
Yeah.
And I think you have a great movie.
Yeah.
Have this
would have
be
made like season
segmented
3.
off. It reminds me a lot of the Clone Wars movie where it's like clearly the first 3 episodes of what will be the show cut together to make a narrative movie. It's aggressively kind of giving that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think these would have made some amazing episodes of television.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I just think it wasn't giving, like, movie stakes. It was giving 3 really good episodes of a TV show. I totally agree. I think something like taking back Mandalore, Moff Gideon, all that stuff, the Darksaber, that would fit the movie mold much better. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very
That's why
interesting.
it's hard. I'm not mad that I saw it, and I loved getting to see it on the big screen. Like, I would love to see a bunch of TV shows on the big screen. That's just, not really possible. But, yeah, I also see why people say this doesn't feel like a movie. So, I get it.
Mhm.
Even if, like, certain critiques I think are a little harsh. But,
I
I
think
don't know.
I think another thing that they could have done to add like layers and dynamics to the script is have something change in the dynamic. Whether that's like a new character that's like changing the dynamics between them, if that's some kind of time jump with Grogu, whether he's like some kind of he's like starts feeling more like a teenager or something. Like there's no dynamic shift from the show, so it's all just exactly how we remember it.
Yeah, that's what's hard about. We were talking a little bit about this last night. That's what's hard about Grogu aging so slowly and his entire species aging so slowly. To me, it could be interesting if they ever fit into the lore. Like now that he has force healed in the movie, that was cool. We forgot to highlight that. I liked that. I wonder if he does that too much. Because it is supposed to take a toll on you, as we saw in Rise of Skywalker.
The only other movie to do it.
Yes, Kylo Ren bringing Rey back to life took his life, because it was like an exchange in a way. I think it would be interesting to explore potentially him aging faster if he uses force healing too much. And that's a way to like make it make sense that he's aging, because obviously you can't just like, oh, he's a teenager now.
No.
You're like, no, like you gotta like need like years to pass or something to happen. So that could be interesting.
Another
if they wanted to do that.
No, I agree. That would be a very interesting place to take it.
Yeah.
I think I could see good and bad ways to go with it.
For sure.
Another thing I think they could have done. Your other cat's going crazy.
Yeah.
Because also the movie feels like it's trying to kind of get Grogu closer to where Mando is as kind of like a fighter or at least a problem solver. I feel like the movie also could have added something if the whole Grogu saves the day section felt a little bit more complex, maybe is the right word.
Yeah.
Like if it truly felt like he was leveling up in his attempt to save his dad, therefore changing the way that his dad thinks he can handle himself. There's a lot of talk in this movie about how he has to protect Grogu, and Grogu's gonna outlive him. I think if they... Another thing where it's there for a couple of minutes throughout this movie, but I think it also could have been a pretty interesting to watch theme of him leveling up. Like in that section where you're watching him take care of his dad, if you have him like taking out droids or the creatures, or even like not even necessarily fighting them, but like distracting them to look away.
Yeah, I wonder if he ever gets a lightsaber at any point or something.
Well, and Colin asked this because he hasn't seen the Mandalorian show, but he is in a very interesting place because he had to choose between being a Jedi or a Mandalorian, and he chose Mandalorian. So I don't know if he could get it, unless it's a yellow one, which is like the in between.
Yeah.
Dude, Rey, find him.
I love my girl Rey. I don't care what everybody thinks about her. I love my girl Rey, so I'm like, I'm seriously on that. And I would honestly be surprised if they go there just because of how most of the fandom thinks about her. But I mean, she's still supposed to get a movie at some point, so I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Anyways.
But
That
even
could be fun.
like even if he had another like a Beskar weapon, like a
I just need him to have some sort of like weapon instead
like-
of just force, which he
Yeah.
is really good. Like we saw him with Rada, like that's pretty big. I thought that in the movie. I'm like, wow, that's like pretty powerful. So he's leveling up. It'd be nice if maybe we see him level up more so, like you said, in a direct defense of Din. That would be nice. So I don't know.
Yeah. Or like maybe even like maybe more of a maturing is maybe the right word to look at it.
Yeah.
You kind of see that here, but like
It's hard.
not
because,
enough, I think, to make it to classify it as a character arc.
Yeah. You know, it's hard because I think I wouldn't be surprised if their hesitation on that was because then you lose your cute little marketing guy the second he becomes more mature. So, I don't know. That's one of those things where I think the story needs it, but is Disney ready to do that? You know?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna say this. I think we literally were saying someone said Grogu needs to die. Dude,
I think
get
he
a
just-
life. He does need
he
to
needs to
change
be
that. He needs to
reborn.
have some kind of character change.
Yeah. Wonder if maybe just giving them the benefit of the doubt, maybe that's what they meant. Like a cute Grogu needs to die. We need to get more mature.
We need Grogu.
This era needs to die.
Someone needs to give Grogu a gun.
Someone needs to give him a lobotomy. No.
Oh my God, Dark Grogu. This is how it happens, Darth Grogu.
No.
Ooh,
he
actually-
gets a lobotomy and he just starts like talking. Like,
Just like, hey.
hey. No, like that voice specifically. Yeah.
Anyways,
I've been watching The Boys too much, thinking about lobotomies. I'm sorry.
moving away from the script, I think we've talked a lot on that.
Yeah.
Any other cons of the movie?
Not really. I mean, I would be interested to hear your thoughts about Rada because I didn't have any problems with him, but it seems like maybe you did.
I think,
interesting.
I think from what I've seen, the internet feels, I think, more
Interesting.
negative than positive on him.
I didn't think of that at all. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I think
liked him.
he's fine. I fear, given just how he his design, I fear he's just in this movie a little too much to maybe cut his time in half. I think his entry here worked when I thought this movie was going to be a bunch of one-off sections.
Yeah.
Him being throughout this movie, I think it's also giving a huge highlight of the fact that our characters aren't changing at all.
Okay.
And he's kind of really surreal to look at. In animation, I like seeing the other Hutts in the idea that, yes, their native language is Huttese, but you've seen other Hutts speak English before, but never as clear as this guy.
Yeah, I guess that's
Oh, hey, how you doing?
fair.
I'm a Hutt. Don't out pizza me.
Yeah, I guess the English could be. Yeah, I could see that.
It's very interesting. And especially next to the twins. And I'll say, I think the twins are decent antagonists. They're not super memorable, but
Yeah.
I think they do their job in this capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he fought, I thought he was really cool. It was fascinating to see him fight. But as a character, I think he just aggressively doesn't shine at all. Except for whenever he's talking to Grogu.
Mhm.
And we get the Razor Crest back. Just remember that. I'm curious. I don't know. It feels kind of weird. Hey, so that rare vehicle that you lost in the show, here's a new one. I don't know. I can also see that kind of highlighting Disney's hesitancy to move these characters forward in any way. It's kind of constantly trying to keep where people are safe and comfortable with the characters being at.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can't even change what he's flying.
Well, it's like a formula. I feel like Disney's been guilty of that a lot. I think of the live actions. I mean, they did that because they know people are going to love it and go see it. Whether or not it even ends up being good.
Dude, the Moana trailer in front of this was insane.
I have not had to actually watch or listen to that.
I think that was a new one.
Well, like, I really haven't. I've seen clips and stuff, but I haven't been able to bring myself to actually, like, listen to it. So I had to here, and I'm
You're welcome.
I'm like,
Say
this
that
is probably gonna make a lot of money. It's only like 10 years old. But anyways, and then I'm hearing like Frozen 3 is gonna be split into 2 parts, and I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired, Disney, because it works every time. It's so frustrating because I know it's gonna make billions of dollars. Seriously, like it's probably gonna make. I mean, it's gonna make at least $1 billion. It might make $2 billion. Both of them. Moana's probably gonna make $1 billion. It's like I'm mad because it works, because they know what they're doing. They don't care about quality as long as if it makes money. And I'm like, ugh. But we deserve both, and you could do both. Ugh. Anyways, sorry. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time they do this. And it won't be the last time it works out for them either. I'm sure money-wise it'll still work out for them. So. Anyways.
Also, I'm gonna say, dude, I was very surprised to see that, what's his name? Rada? That Rada and Babu Frickin' Friends were in this movie more than Zeb. Guys,
Zeb.
what are we doing here?
I love
This
Zeb.
man did not search an entirely separate universe for his family to be disrespected like this. Get him on Ahsoka. Why is he not with the rest of the rebels? Every other rebel was invited to that show.
No, actually. Maybe he will be season 2. I don't know. Bestie, go help out Ahsoka, please.
Literally,
Yeah.
what do you mean he's not trying to find Ezra?
I don't know.
Craziness. Alrighty. I think we've talked most of my worst parts.
Yeah.
I'll say there's maybe not necessarily a ton of worst parts, but I feel like they're pretty major flaws to what is generally expected from a movie.
I agree.
Score was great. Pedro Pascal. What a guy.
Good job, dude. You got a good paycheck. You didn't even have to show your face.
Wonder how many days you were on set for this.
Yeah. Probably not a lot.
Do you want to shout out maybe 3 of your favorite Pedro Pascal movies?
Oh, I don't know that. You go first. I have to look that up.
I would say Fantastic Four is up there. First Steps. I think he does great in The Wild Robot.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll also go Materialists. I think he does great work in The Materialists as well.
Yeah?
And then obviously he's great in shows as well.
Yeah, I agree with those 3. The time he was in Gladiator 2, I enjoyed him.
Yeah. I wish it
Just
highlighted
wasn't-
him more.
Yes. Yeah, Freaky Tales. Shout out to him in Freaky Tales.
Yeah, he's giving Joel in Freaky Tales.
Joel. Anyways, moving past that. Yeah.
He also has
Let's see.
some pretty bad movies in his filmography.
Well-
So sorry, King.
And he's also done the 3 seasons of Mandalorian, however much he's actually been there for that, but you know. Yeah, he's certainly
Him in that sound booth.
there. Yeah.
Love the guy.
The game.
Love that guy.
Okay. Sorry. Right. I remember meeting the character in the parks too, and that was very fun because I have my own Oh my god, I didn't even grab it for the episode. I have my own helmet.
You silly.
I should have charged the batteries. It would not work. It's been too long. Honestly, if there are batteries in there, it's probably cooked. But it goes... Ooh, speaking of, shout out to him getting to say, I could bring you in warm and I could bring you in cold again. I don't care that he's already said that. It eats every time. I'm like, yes, you can. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Sigourney Weaver.
Queen.
What an amazing career that she has had. Just the top 8 movies that you see on Letterboxd: Avatar, Avatar: The Way of Water, WALL-E, Alien, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Aliens, Ghostbusters, and Cabin in the Woods. Dude.
I mean...
What a queen.
Dude.
I love Sigourney Weaver. To
Yeah.
shout her out...
Shout out the 3 Avatar movies.
For sure. I will say I specifically love her in the first Avatar.
One Alien, of course. But yeah.
I would say...
Yeah, that's true. She's in the first Avatar movie more, especially like her
as a human.
face character. Yeah.
I would say shout out to her. 3, it's Avatar, Aliens for me personally. I know there's a bit of back and forth on that for some people. And Avatar, Aliens, and Ghostbusters. Dude, I love Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I'll
Wait.
pick those 3.
She's also in The Gorge from last year, which is pretty good. Did you ever watch The Gorge?
No.
Ooh, you should. It's got
Because
Jackson. The guy who did the blue.
because it's on Apple TV Plus, and I don't have that. It's the only streaming service I don't have, pretty much.
Cool. So we need to watch The Gorge.
No. Anyways.
And then the last actor, Jeremy Allen White. You know?
Yeah, chef.
Oh, Carmen.
Dude, okay, my pick. The Iron Claw, Springsteen, and I'm just gonna pick the bear.
I'll pick the Bear seasons 1 through 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2, and then hella shout out to the Iron Claw. I love that movie.
Dude,
Well, he's good in that movie.
I need
too,
justice for the Iron Claw.
so-
Everyone is so good in that movie, but he
Yeah.
certainly
Mhm.
holds his own.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, so much justice for the Iron Claw. I love that movie, dude.
Yeah. That's my number 1 movie for
No.
that year. I'm pretty sure.
have I-
Oh, no, it's Barbie, but this is second.
Have I told you what Cole did when we watched that movie?
No.
So we were watching The Iron Lung in
Claw.
theaters. Iron Claw, right.
The Iron Lung was his
We were watching The Iron Claw, and Jeremy Allen White's character comes on screen. And for the whole audience to hear, he says, "Oh, it's that guy?" I'm not with him. Guys, I'm so sorry.
I don't know who this is. He's a weirdo who picked a seat right next to me.
No.
No, don't do that. We were having a nice date. Nikki, I love you so much. You deserved better.
Oh, gosh. But,
Anyway.
yeah. Not Madam Web on his filmography.
Yeah.
But Springsteen. He was I think, a really good part of Springsteen as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's the main character. He did good. He did a good job. He sounded great. I love the Born in the USA one. I'm like, damn.
Born
USA. Oh, God, okay, let's leave it to him. Anyways, yeah.
These 3. Also, I maybe should have known he was gonna last super long in this movie when he was the second name after Pedro Pascal on the opening credits. Crazy.
Shout out, indie star Martin Scorsese. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I will
but-
say, I love that he keeps being cast as little guys in movies like these.
Like the Shark Tale.
Yes, exactly. Shark Tales is exactly what I'm thinking of.
Anyways, yeah.
Next, I wanted to turn to Jon Favreau, the director of this movie, and a couple of other movies you may or may not have heard of. Are you familiar with his filmography?
You know, I think there was like Iron Lung, Iron Claw.
Speaking of Iron,
Man.
we're on Iron Man.
No, actually, I just put that together. That somebody was like, Grogu's suit up scene was giving the suit up scene in Iron Man 2 with the trunk turning into the suit. I'm like, wait, yeah,
And yeah, you can see
yeah,
that.
that makes
Clear
sense.
escalation.
Shout out Elf.
Dude, I love Elf. Are you the one who's not that big of a fan of Elf?
No, I love Elf.
There's some. Maybe it's. Who am I thinking? I really thought you didn't like Elf.
I love Elf.
Interesting. I also love Elf. It came out on my birthday.
Ooh. Okay. Real talk. Top 3. Elf, Iron Man, Jungle Book.
Dude, I
God, he did
love the Jungle Book.
I love the Jungle Book.
Dude, in a just world, I think Jungle Book should have done what The Lion King did.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dude, it's up there as, I think, one of the only few arguments for Disney live action remakes.
I agree.
That Cinderella and Pete's Dragon.
Yeah. And, you know what? I like Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh, no, that's also fair.
I know some people don't like Emma Watson. I'm like, shut the fuck up. She sounds good enough. And she looks like exactly like Belle. Like, please stop. Please be quiet. Anyways. Yeah. No, those are actually, like, my top 3.
Did you ever watch Zathura?
No.
It's like Jumanji, but a space board game.
I'll watch that then.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'd say I feel like this is enough to like loosely rank. I'm gonna see if I can rank if I would rank them. So, Lion King is at the bottom for me.
Yeah.
I would say maybe a hot take. Then it's Iron Man 2 for me. Then I would do Mando and Grogu, Zathura, Jungle Book, Elf, Iron Man.
Damn. Yeah.
He's interesting because now he's like just kind of officially the guy you hire for a big blockbuster at Disney.
Sure. Go off, King. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. You know, I mean, the directing wasn't the problem here, although I think he also co-wrote it.
Yeah, him and Dave
Right.
Filoni.
Yeah, directing, sure, stick around. Maybe get somebody else to write it.
Or at least some... Yeah, you needed someone else on the script.
Mm-hmm.
Someone to be like, oh, so, but like, I see plot here, but like, where's the narrative?
Where's it going? What's happening?
So your characters are here at the start, and they're here at the end.
Where's the growth?
But like, what's different between these two things?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I also looked up the future projects of Star Wars. The things I could find. The confirmed is
Yes.
Star Wars Starfighter.
With Ryan Gosling,
With Ryan
I'm
Gosling.
so excited for that. After Project Hail Mary, I actually think that's going to end up doing really well. Especially if the script is halfway decent. Like, I think they potentially have a really big hit on their hands.
And it's directed by Sean Levy, who did Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. I'm excited.
I'm trying to see. Mia Goth is in it. Amy Adams, Matt Smith, Aaron Pierce. Kind of a killer cast.
Coded cast. Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited.
I will say, I feel like Amy Adams is the hardest for me to picture in Star Wars. Like, Mia Goth, dude, I can see. I'm surprised she
afraid-
hasn't been in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But
I'm afraid I can see her as like a Laura Dern character where she's
you
like,
get her name out of your mouth.
No, you literally said that too when we watched it. And I love that actress, but like, God, I unfortunately feel like I could see her ending up being that type of character, but I really hope I'm wrong.
And then she ends up being Imperial.
I don't know. their women are hit or miss in Star Wars. So, and the Star Wars fandom is not nice to them. So, we'll see.
Indeed.
Mia Goth could be like I need her to be a villain though. I need her to be a villain because
I mean, for that or Alien, I want to see. I think she'd be a killer. Twi'lek, I think is what they are.
Okay.
Like the Tenderly.
Yeah. But I for some reason I keep picturing like Asajj Ventress. I feel like she could give the vibes of that. Not that she would be that, but like baddie.
No, as a Sith, she'd be pretty sick.
She'd be.
Amy Adams as a Sith Lord.
Oh God, no. Anyway.
Mandalorian is supposedly still set to get a season 4
Sure.
around this movie. You know, I will say,
Sure.
I think it's unsmart. I think if you're gonna try and jump these characters to a movie, I think it's not showing confidence. If you're like, and then we're gonna go back to their show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Again, it's giving special.
It's like, I think you gotta be
Not a
very
movie.
explicit if you're jumping to a movie, and especially this movie.
I don't know. We'll see. I think they should be careful where they go from here, but they've gotten some feedback from season 3 and now this, so hopefully they listen. I don't know.
But that's the thing. Even season 3, I think, still had good character development. So I don't know why that just didn't make it into this movie. It's very odd.
I don't know.
Other untitled films that are some level of rumored to approve. I think these have all been greenlit at some point to be made in very early production. And that is an untitled New Jedi Order film. That's supposed to be the film where Rey's reestablishing the Jedis.
Finally.
An untitled Dawn of the Jedi film, which is basically a prequel to Jedis being created as a religion.
Okay.
But people didn't like that from the Acolyte.
You like the Acolyte, that's what I was thinking. We'll see.
But dude, there are parts of the Acolyte that I think are so good. I think especially looking at the Jedi as like a religion, I thought it was so interesting.
Because that also makes their flaws more interesting to look at as well, because they certainly have some.
Because then it becomes something super comparable to the real world.
Yes, for sure. So, that could be exciting.
And then an untitled New Republic film. Okay.
Sure. Let's see. It's too early on to really be like, yay, nay, I don't know, whatever.
I'm fairly confident that's who, like, here in Mandalorian and Grogu they're working for. The New Republic.
The New Republic,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
So I don't really... Okay.
Sure. Have a Rebels film.
Are there any other... Bless you.
So sorry.
That's in vain. Are there any other movies you aggressively want from Star Wars?
I'm just excited we're getting another Rey film. This is for me, if nobody else. This is for me. No, I mean, I don't care. I want to see a lot of characters, but it doesn't have to be in a movie. Like, I just said, like, the Rebels characters. But, you know, a lot of that's going to be in Ahsoka Season 2. So I don't really care where we see them. I'm glad and hope this doesn't change, that we're still getting a new Jedi Order film. I was, throughout watching the sequel trilogy, really wanting that. Like, I always kind of really wanted to see parts of Luke's when he was building his. But I could see them being hesitant to do that for several reasons. So if we can get it in some format with Rey, then I'm all for it.
I think there is a lot of time that we have not seen between The Force Awakens and now, I guess, Mandalorian and Grogu, which I think is now, like, the latest in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see some stuff about... I think there's a lot you could do with the rise of the First Order. Are there, in, like, other, like, Sith under Kylo Ren? They obviously added a lot more under Vader that we never saw in the original trilogy.
I mean, if you ever want to show anything to explain Palpatine's return, maybe like do an animated show or something. Like, I don't know.
I feel like that's a perfect pocket to introduce new characters. Like, I think Clone Wars and Rebels did really great work about adding characters to the lore that you're able to see later in projects we're seeing today.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect pocket to start creating really cool and new characters that we can see when we do the next thing, if we do the next thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of time there. You can do a lot of things that don't have to have been seen in the sequels.
For sure.
That can come up later.
For sure.
But next up, ranking the 13 Star Wars movies.
I'll go first.
You go for it.
So sorry to fans of this. I put Solo as my number 13. I'm sorry. I'm one of the haters of this. It was not my favorite. I'm trying to think of the actress's name. Daenerys. It's like Emily something, I think. I actually have no idea. No, Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
Baddie. Yeah, there's actually a few actors in that movie that I really liked. I just was not a fan of the story. Sorry. I don't know what else to say.
My number 13, I have Attack of the Clones. Meh. The fights are rough. I like the clones. And I will say, all of the prequels I like a bit more than I last watched. But this is a clear bottom for me. Girl, if you're falling in love for that man, you got problems. Man is admitting to having problems, and you still marry him by the end of this movie. Red flag.
Yeah. Next, so sorry to the prequels fans, I put A Phantom Menace. Even as someone who's a fan of Darth Maul, I will say, to be fair, Solo and Phantom Menace are two of the movies I did not rewatch with y'all, to be fair, so I haven't had a more recent review of them. It's a little bit older review. But this one is definitely my least favorite of the three of prequels, even with Maul. So, sorry. I've never been a huge Qui-Gon fan. I think that's a problem. I don't care for him kind of at all. Like, people have been wanting, like, content just about him. I, like, couldn't care less. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Liam Neeson, I'm sorry. I forget that you play that role sometimes. I don't know. I remember it being really, really boring. So, again, haven't rewatched it recently, but that's what I remember. So, now, next, we're getting into all the movies, pretty much. I did rewatch, so.
At number 12, I have The Last Jedi. I think that there's, like, almost exactly half of a really good movie here, and exactly half a really bad movie. You can certainly feel the Rian Johnson of this movie. And I love the directing. You can feel his style as a director.
Yeah.
As a writer... Anyways...
I know, I was shocked to learn that he did contribute to the writing of this. I'm like, directing, I get it, and go off King. But maybe the same thing, I'm like, I don't know, Star Wars films can be hard to write, I guess, from what we've seen. So maybe stick to directing these. I mean, because, like, Knives Out, you're good. But, like, here, I'm like, maybe stick to directing. I don't know. It's also hard
like, some of the
because
characters I think he nails, but
yeah.
he just picked really bad places to take this story for certain characters, and it's just like, dude.
Yeah. To be fair, like, it wasn't his own baby. It was, like, someone had already started it. He continued it in his own way, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And he didn't get to flesh it out and round it out, so I don't know. But ultimately, yeah, I agree. It's not a great job. My next one is The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. It's hard because I actually really like a lot of the things they introduce in this movie, but considering it's the third in a trilogy and they're still introducing so many cool things, I feel like that's a problem.
Sure.
Like the dyad stuff, like that's so cool. The force healing, so cool. And I think it makes sense in the lore, even though we haven't seen it before.
Feels crazy that force healing is not used more up until that point.
I know.
Or ever until that point.
I agree. So I don't even like hate the romance here. Like, cause obviously I feel the chemistry. I just feel like everything about their story is rushed. So I'm like, I think when we get there, it's just too fast. The dyad stuff is not fleshed out. The force healing stuff, I think, was okay. Probably the least, probably the storyline I have the least problems with. I don't know. There's just a lot of cool things here. Palpatine returning, her being revealed as the granddaughter of Palpatine. I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. But it just kind of seems like it comes out of nowhere and then goes nowhere and ends really quickly. So then it ultimately seems pretty lame.
Specifically when the last episode is like, I know who your parents are. 30 minutes later, they were nobody. And it's like, never mind, you're Palpatine in the next movie.
I know. I'm like, this is giving when they chose to make Luke and Leia siblings. Great choice. But it makes the first two movies a little awkward at times. So, okay. Maybe next time we do a trilogy, we map it out a little bit more. That's my recommendation.
And,
so,
well, I'll get to it eventually. But...
yeah.
Okay. My number 11, I have Phantom Menace. Dude, Maul is so cool in this movie. Previously, we were having a conversation about characters that truly leveled up when they hit the shows instead of just what they've done in the movies. But, dude, after rewatching it, Maul was always that bitch. That fight scene is, like, the coolest lightsaber fight up till that point.
The prequels, I mean, I agree that they have, like, the coolest lightsaber fights, for sure.
I also think it's definitely the best. Padme is. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, I think, are fine. Anakin is serviceable. And then there's Jar Jar. But I do specifically like... I think this movie works a lot more for me when you understand what's happening with the entire prequels. Like, it is truly the 3-step plan of the Emperor getting in power. And looking at that movie, at these 3 movies from that perspective, I think Phantom Menace is a pretty interesting one.
My number 10, we're officially in our top 10, is Attack of the Clones. I like this one. It's okay. It's alright. Has its moments. I don't like Sam.
But the women and children, too!
No, that's the next one.
No, that's that one.
It is?
Yeah, he killed
Oh,
the
yeah, because of the planet. Yes, you're right. Yeah. I mean, I like the fight at the end. I'm like, okay. Okay, trio. Anyways, yeah. It's got some problems, but it's got some good parts. It's alright.
At number 10, I have The Clone Wars, the animated movie that I'm sure most people haven't seen. Yeah, it's essentially just the first 3 episodes of the Clone Wars show all put into one, but it introduces Ahsoka and Asajj Ventress and, Rudda. And at least 2 of those are really amazing characters in Star Wars lore. I actually remember watching this forever ago, like maybe a year or 2 ago, and not liking it like at all. And then I went on to really like the Clone Wars show. Dude, rewatching this, I really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
My number 9 is Mandalorian and Grogu. Maybe Attack of the Clones is, I think, certainly more of like a movie, but I enjoyed overall Mandalorian and Grogu more. So for now, at least, it is above it. Yeah.
And number 9, I also have Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah. Similar, very much in vein of 3 episodes being stitched together to make a movie. I was like,
Speaking of, I put Clone Wars next. Yeah, I was always on the train of this one. I liked Clone Wars, the movie and the show. Yeah. I also recommend watching. I watched the show for the first time in chronological order, which is complicated, but I think worth it. Because my parents are trying to watch it just like straightforward right now, and they're like, "What is happening?" And I said, "Rewatch it in the chronological order." Okay.
At my number 8, I have Revenge of the Sith. I like so much of what this movie is trying to do, but I fear it has two of the worst performances in Star Wars as the lead characters. Not talking about you, Obi-Wan. You're perfect. I love you. Never change.
Oh, well, he's got his moments in that one.
To be fair, I think it's a poorly written scene. I can't blame
I'm
him.
like, no.
I can't blame you, Ewan McGregor. I couldn't either. The fights are cool. The visuals are finally where you would expect 2000 Star Wars to be. And I think it has a very interesting tone set for going into the Rebellion era, which I think is cool. But Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, my next one is The Last Jedi, and I think after this is where, I don't know, I might start making people angry, but I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, The Last Jedi. I personally I definitely like this movie more than you. But I personally really like the scene that you don't like, where Rey and Kylo fight together.
Oh, I love
against
that.
some
I
people.
love their fight. But then it's immediately undercut, I think, when he's like, anyways, now that my boss is out of the way, still do exactly what I've been saying for the last 2 movies. And it's like, dude, nothing has changed. Anyways, I'm done.
Anyway. He's just a little delulu, that's all.
It's giving misogyny, but whatever. Anyways, my number 7, I have Rise of Skywalker. I was expecting to like this one a lot less on a rewatch because I've not seen it since it released, I think, in 2020...
2019.
2019. God, it's been so long. But I ultimately feel pretty much the same about it. It's okay.
Yeah, I will say, actually, we didn't point out, because I think neither of us realized, but this is the first Star Wars movie since COVID.
Yeah.
Which was a while ago at this point. But, like, I don't know. To be fair, movies have not quite been the same in some areas since then, so, I don't know.
Indeed.
Whatever.
But Rise of Skywalker, there's so many memes coming out of this movie that I think it's really funny. Richard E. Grant as a imperialist admiral, I think is amazing casting. I think Kylo gets me back again. I think he becomes another really good antagonist here.
Dude, Adam Driver's, like, amazing in those movies. For sure.
The Palpatine return thing also didn't take me out as much as I thought it would on a rewatch. My biggest thing is I just wish this trilogy felt like it planned his return
At all?
sooner.
Yeah. I agree.
It feels very out of the blue, but I love the
Yeah.
idea that he's returning and Rey has to deal with that reveal.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's just rough around the edges. They did not know what they wanted to do with Finn at all. And his character especially is super his arc is very half-assed at best.
Yeah. He deserved better. He would have been such a cool Jedi, but, like, they didn't want to go down that path, and now he fucking hates them, and I don't blame them.
No.
You deserve better. Go somewhere else. They won't appreciate you.
But the visuals, the sets, the fights are really good.
Because, like, him in that first movie's kind of awesome. Anyways. My next one is the other Jedi title film, Return of the Jedi. This is one that I did not rewatch with y'all. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. So this just happened to be one where they were like, "Can we watch it anyways?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I remember enough of this movie. Yeah, I remember it being good. I think this is to the point officially where I have 3.5 stars.
Fair.
So, I like it.
At number 6, I have Solo. I didn't remember a ton of this movie on rewatch. It's actually kind of really fun. The casting of a younger Han and Lando, I think they kill it. They feel like a very youthful versions of those characters. It's a really funny movie. L3, I think, is such an underrated droid, voiced by, I think it's, let me get her name, because she's a comedian. She's from Fleabag, and she's really fucking funny.
Oh, I like her. The
Phoebe
main girl?
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, she's so funny as a droid. And I think it actually... And, what's his name? Woody Harrelson. He plays a very Woody Harrelson character here. He doesn't always work in movies for me, but he does here, which I have to give this movie credit for. And then has Darth Maul and his group here. And it's so cool seeing the Millennium Falcon get trashed to how we recognize it from the original trilogy is really funny. It's like a Star Wars heist movie, and I think it's really fun. The weirdest thing this movie does for me is have Han Solo be a stormtrooper that we never have any indication of before. But whatever.
Here's where I might piss people off. I'm so sorry. My number 5 is Empire Strikes Back. Listen, I think we both agreed that upon a rewatch, this was solid, but I feel like this is one of those movies where people act like it's one of the best films ever made. Like it's a masterpiece. It's like people talk about it as if it would be in the top 10 of best movies ever made. And I'm like, aggressively, no. I think it's good. I just think it's overall overhyped. I think it's very iconic, and so people have a lot of nostalgia with it. But I think it's solid. It's a good film. It's just not the masterpiece people think it is, in my opinion. So sorry. But it has the big reveal, and I think that's why people are like, it's the best movie ever made. And I'm like, but a lot that comes up until that point is okay. Anyways.
My number 5, I have The Force Awakens. My god, if they were not cooking with that revival. And Han Solo coming back, Harrison Ford coming back as Han Solo, aged like fine wine, comes back and does not miss a beat. I also really love Leia in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
She warms my heart so much. Carrie Fisher, I love you so much. Gosh, I think the characters are introduced really well. BB-8, I think, is a fun droid. It just starts out with so much potential, and my gosh, if nowadays I cannot respect the hell out of literally just starting a new chapter. Out of nothing. Like, completely new main cast. I love it. Love, love, love.
That is also my next one, number 4, The Force Awakens. I'll say it, I liked this better than Empire Strikes Back. Sue me. Yeah, I think this is a great first entry. I wish the other 2 films were as good as this. But seriously, I think this is pretty amazing. I personally love Rey, and also upon a rewatch, we were both trying to look at it through the lens of people who hated her, because we had disagreed with that, but we were trying to do they at all even in their own way maybe have an argument here? And people say, why does she just know how to fight? They established that she knows how to fight pretty freaking early on. With a stick, no less. So, then that leads to the lightsaber stuff. There's a reason that Kylo is very distracted and not on his best A game in that fight as well. Many, many reasons there. They do get their butts kicked at certain times. She's really good at flying the ship, and there's a reason for that. I don't know, this makes sense to me. Y'all wouldn't be calling her a Mary Sue if she was a man. It's the fact that there's not a male term for that.
I mean, look at the original ones. Luke had never been in a StarCraft fighter like that before.
Are y'all forgetting he went against Vader and survived? And people are gonna be like, well, that's because there's emotion involved. There's emotion involved with Kylo Ren and Rey. Anyways, speak on it.
Number 4, I have Return of the Jedi. Seeing a super, trained up Jedi Luke, I think, so fun. Love the Ewok planet. Yoda dies. Defeat the Emperor. Fun.
Yeah.
Little cannibal teddy bears.
I love them. Then I have Rogue One. Peak. I love Rogue One. These top 3 are like phenomenal films to me. Yeah. I don't know.
Number 3, I have A New Hope. Yeah. Iconic. Like, you just know that they knew that they were cooking. And they, it's such simple introductions, but they truly just are such amazingly well-developed characters that I think it makes sense that they caught on so strong. The world building, I think, is so cool and intentional, especially for the time. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it.
Next, I have Revenge of the Sith. This is definitely one of my favorites. And yes, I also acknowledge in the same sentence that the acting is abysmal in this film. It's so bad. But I can't. I'm sorry. It's like a guilty pleasure film for me. Like, I love this film. I almost, can't bring myself to care that much that it's such bad acting because everything else is so peak. I love this movie. And we're so glad I got to see it in theaters, so. Period.
My number 2, I have Empire Strikes Back. I fucking love this movie. I remember rewatching this a couple years ago on May 4th when I was going through all of them, and I was like, oh my god. This movie is fucking incredible. I fucking love this movie. I think the visual effects are so cool. I think Darth Vader finally has a really cool fight. Han Solo and Leia, their dynamic is fucking peak. Love that shit. And it gives us Yoda. Fucking old Yoda. He's such a crazy little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
And my number 1 is the original Star Wars A New Hope. Yeah. I don't know. This is one of those where I'm like, can't beat the original, I guess. It's just too good. Yeah. This is like the perfect Star Wars movie to me. This is what a lot of people treat Empire Strikes Back. This is my Empire Strikes Back. I love A New Hope. Anyways, yeah.
And my number 1 is Rogue One. I think it is just such a beautiful story. The characters, they're introduced, into the story, and then they just, grab my heart so easily. And then, losing them, it's so melancholy because they're so ready to, die for the cause. Mm-hmm. Dude, if a movie can give me melancholy, I think that's such a hard thing to pull off between, I don't know, man. But I love it. It's modern Star Wars at its best. K2SO, legend. Cheer on, Blind Jedi. Dude. Love that guy.
Daddy.
So cool. And it got us Andor, which people love. So.
And I love half of that show.
But yeah, let us know your favorite Star Wars movies in the comments. Would love to hear.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have next? The reception. Disgrace. So,
I'm scared. Scared to find out where everything is now.
Rotten Tomato, audience, critic, and cinema score.
I'm so scared. I'm ready for it to disappoint me, but also it's probably kind of valid, so... I'm gonna guess the critic score, you did say it changed. I would like to be optimistic and say it went up a little bit. I'm gonna say a solid, 60.
Okay. And audience?
75.
The critic score is now a 62. So it is no longer a Rotten Tomato.
Yay!
And the audience score is an 89.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised
Okay.
that's as high as it is.
I'm also surprised, but period.
And then do you want to guess what the cinema score is?
In that case, I'll say a B plus.
It's an A minus.
Oh, purr. You know what? It makes up a little bit for Obsession. Because didn't Obsession get a B plus or A minus?
I think A minus.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Anyways. Okay, purr. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Again, if that's my worst one, then that's pretty dang good.
It certainly
so,
went up.
Yeah.
Then we have box office prediction.
Dude.
Currently, it is a long Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It is currently at 144.9 million.
Ooh, and we're not even done with the weekend yet. Probably don't have the Sunday or definitely not Monday numbers yet. Maybe Sunday.
Maybe Sunday.
I don't know. It's around that time where it may be updated.
If you would like, I can also pull up other Star Wars movies if we wanted to
Sure.
compare.
So you said 144 basically.
Yep, it's at 144. Other Star Wars movies currently. Domestically, it opened at 81 million. Opening weekend.
That's pretty good. That's
That
almost
puts it
half and half.
That puts it in between Attack of the Clones and Solo.
And what did those end up making?
Solo opened at 84, went on to gross 393 million.
Is that domestic or overall?
The opening is domestic. The overall is worldwide. And then Attack of the Clones opened with 80 million, went on to gross 656 million.
I do think Mandalorian and Grogu had better initial reception and just more talk in general than Solo did. But not as much of it as Attack of the Clones, although they were pretty hated in their time. I don't know. I was like a baby, so I don't. But that's what I heard, that they were pretty hated in their time. So I'll go kind of in between those numbers. You said about 400 million versus 600 million, essentially. I'll go a good in between for maybe like a 480. I won't quite go 500. I don't know. That has a good lead, but also a lot of the loyal fans are going to go see it this weekend. It's a long weekend. It's going to get, I think, the bulk of its money this weekend for multiple reasons. And it hasn't had great reception, although that audience score, perhaps maybe we're just on a side of it. Maybe that's not the whole conversation. So, I don't know.
A
little hard to gauge.
I think I'm closer to 350. I think it's not as big as they initially wanted it to be, so I think it's gonna be. If it gets 350, that'll be the second lowest after the lowest live action. But if yours was 480, that would make it the 6th highest grossing. So, meaning that it would be beating Revenge of the Sith. Which I don't think it will. But we'll see. I think if this movie came out not in the summer movie season, I think I'd maybe be a little more hopeful for it.
I don't know, man.
But we shall see.
We shall see, because the weekend is not over yet. And Star Wars fans do be Star Wars fanning, so we shall see. Yeah.
Last thing today, folks, is updating our summer movie draft. I have gone ahead and did the point calculation for... We now have 3 movies on the board. 2 of yours, 1 of mine. So you have Obsession, which gained you 1 more point so far this weekend. Maybe more. So you are at 71 with Obsession. Mandalorian and Grogu is currently sitting at 61.
Not bad. Definitely not bad at all.
So you have a combined 132 points out of a potential 200 points of your 2 movies, which is a pretty... It's more than half.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty great place to be. Right now, I Love Boosters is in limited release, which was on my list. That is currently sitting at a 58 points.
Sure. I mean, with the limited release, that's pretty good. So, yay! I hope I get to see it at some.
I wish. I will say it was a little higher. I don't know, man. The audience Rotten Tomatoes score and cinema score are lower than I was hoping they would be.
Because critic had a really high score.
Yeah, it's like 94.
Yeah.
And then like a 75 audience score. And I think it's a B plus cinema score. So I'm like, gross.
See, cinema scores plays dirty sometimes. It'd be disappointing.
Interesting. But this next weekend, Backrooms is coming out, so you will get another one of yours.
I hope that's as good as people are hoping it is. I don't know if people are necessarily talking like it is good, but everyone's hoping it's good, which is different. So.
Ooh, and then also this week, I want to watch the original shorts done by the director of the movie.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So very excited for that.
Sure.
And we will do an episode on that probably sometime next week, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
But that is going to wrap up our conversation on The Mandalorian and Grogu. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Would love to hear what you thought on that movie. Until next time, I'm your host, Luke.
I'm your host, Alicia.
And thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Bye.